what he has done is he's taken that agency, which Congress created to find the source of infectious diseases, of allergic diseases, of neurological diseases, of autoimmune diseases, and he's cut off all the money for doing his job, which is to finding those and eliminate the sources. And instead, he's turned that agency into an incubator for pharmaceutical products. So he has a $6.1 billion annual budget from us, the taxpayer. He gets another $1.6 billion from the military, and that's why, by the way, he has to do gain of function. He has to do weapons technology, because otherwise he'd lose all that military money. So he gives out 13 times what Bill Gates gives out every year. He's the most powerful person in public health in history. NIH has 300,000 researchers around the world that are funded by this huge flow of money that's coming basically from or determined by Tony Fauci. And what he does is he develops vaccines and drugs in his lab. He farms them out to university scientists who are called PIs. These are the virologists, the vaccinologists, the most powerful people. These are the guys who you see on CNN every night. The doctors like Art Tablin, Peter Hotez, and Paul Ofit, who present themselves as independent scientists, but they're all on Tony Fauci's payroll. All the people who sit on those boards, you know, the FCA boards, it's called VRBPAC, and the CDC board, ACIP, that approves new drugs, they're all taking money from Tony Fauci. They are all completely dependent on him. He has the power to make careers, to ruin any scientist on the earth who does science that he doesn't like. Because he's giving, what he does is he takes these drugs, he creates new drugs in his labs. He farms them out to the university scientists, who are the most powerful people in those universities, the deans, the chairman of the department. They do the clinical trials. So, like the phase 1 trial, they'll have 100 people. Fauci pays $20,000 per patient to that scientist. The university skims off half, so now the university is involved in supporting Fauci. Then you go to phase 2, and he's got 10,000 people. And he's giving these hundreds of millions of dollars to each of these universities, to Baylor, to Harvard, to Columbia, to Berkeley, and you have these very, very outstanding scientists who everybody respects, but they are not independent. He owns them all. And that's how he controls these global narratives. Listen, every virologist in the world, every single one, without one exception, knew that coronavirus was lab-generated for a year. Anybody who looks at that genetic spike protein sequence knew that. Why did the omerta hold for a full year? Why did nobody speak up of those tens of thousands of virologists around the world? Here's why. Because anybody who speaks up is permanently bankrupted. Their careers are totally destroyed. So all of them kept their mouths shut because they are all on Tony Fauci's payroll. And he's able, if there's a young scientist who shows up at Columbia or Baylor University and says, hey, there's these big databases out there from the HMOs, and I want to study whether autism is being caused by vaccines. The second he files that proposal, his dean will get a call from one of Fauci's deputies who says, if you let this clown go forward with that study, we are going to bankrupt your university. Because not only is the university getting money from Fauci, but they get part of the patent. The individual scientist gets to keep part of the patent. Fauci gets to keep part of the patent for his agency, and he gets to assign patent rights to his loyal deputies. So all of these people are making huge amounts of money, and that's why, you know, any scientist at NIH who has ever spoken up against the pharmaceutical industry, whether it's Bernie Eddy, whether it's John Anthony Martin, whether it's Judy Mikovits, all of them get their careers immediately destroyed. So how did Tony Fauci last for 50 years at that agency? He is the J. Edgar Hoover of public health. He did it by signing his soul away and making these corrupt deals with the pharmaceutical industry, which keeps him in power.